Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me when I tell you, and tell them like it is. Let them know what it's all about. Appreciate you guys being here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your hostess, DGddss, or LDG for short. I like that little monogram. All right, my actual initials spell out a word, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. I hope you guys had one hell of a holiday. I know I did. The weekend was pretty awesome and very busy, but everything is starting to slow down just a tiny little bit. Of course, for entertainers, it hardly ever slows down unless you just say, I'm stopping. So, let's say, my goodness, everybody here already. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Anybody blow your fingers off or have any kind of problems with fireworks this weekend? Actually, I had told somebody that we weren't going to be doing anything personally unless I'm doing a nightclub show or something like that, or some kind of a private show or something where I'm actually on stage entertaining. You ain't going to get me out in those crowds anymore. Too dangerous. And of course, we've been seeing that. That's the title of the show. 2024 is already pretty freaking scary. Some wild shit going on already. But again, it's just another day. Most people, they don't care what day of the year it is. In fact, the more holiday situation with things closed and everything like that, the better probably for some of them. All right, real quick, I'm going to get my plugs. We'll go over who's on the chats. I am live tonight on Rumble, Odysee, ScrewTube, and Kick. Hopefully soon I'll be able to add pilled.net. Like I say, when I have more time. I'm slow at this kind of stuff. Let's see. All right. Let's see. 451 Actual joined with Kevin's Chaotic Coffee. I meant to go and see them today, but I think I got up too late again. It's been crazy. No Prisoners podcast on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll actually try to be there tomorrow. We'll see how early I get up tomorrow. Pastor Shadley, of course, with the pond, and my main moderator here on the show. And of course, if he's here, that means the Pond is here. So welcome, Pond. Thank you so very much for being here, and thank you for simulcasting me all over your channels as well. You definitely have my permission, no matter what happens. In fact, if I ever do anything with Rumble, which I doubt, I'll let them know you're a part of the show, dude. And of course, don't forget to stop on by one of the platforms on my actual stream so that I can get your numbers. Give me some fire. Give me them thumbs up, the plus sign, and all of that stuff like that there. Pastor Chalet, Red Dawn Radio, or as I like to call him, Tyrone. The Drunken Rocky Show, which of course is right on right after my show with the White Pill Experience. Oh no, it's Drunken Rants or something like that now. Raynoth, DJ Bass, Tom in America Floats, Magical Trevor, Who Went Viral, Some Guy from Maine, Rugaru, and Not Me Bee. Just me in the corner. With the Pure Blood Media Group, where you can find out who all is streaming, alternative streaming, of course, news, get-togethers. You can advertise. You can see what's on air when you decide you want to be on the internet. Wood Geeks Workshop. Wow, I used to be on the top. Now you have to scroll down to see me. Oh, cool. I see that you've added some more of my links on there. I don't know what rel equals new something target blank something or other. Uh-oh. Some of the stuff came out. Some of the writing, or not the writing. Some of the programming came out in that thing there. You might want to check that out. Whoever's in charge of this. But thank you. Thank you so much for adding me finally and adding some more of my links onto the Pure Blood Media. Of course, we can do the news. Go to the news. It takes a while. Usually when I'm finished, if there's any time left, which there's not usually, not lately anyway, but I'll go back to this site and pick out an article to blind react to or something like that. But I got lots to show you today. And of course, you guys know within the last 4 days or the last week that we've been apart, a lot of shit has happened. There's been a release of now everybody keeps saying it's the Epstein client list. It's not. It's the court paperwork, the court whatever, and even there was redactions in that, but it was the court case that got Epstein convicted, I guess you could say, or gave him the whatever it was they did, the deal he got in Florida or whatever like that. So all right. All right. Let me go through. Let's see who else on the chat. You guys are going so fast. In fact, I saw a bunch of rees. The first person here was Pastor Shadley, of course. Slop Diddly Bop, Youngberg, Sergeant Tripod. Welcome, welcome. Okay, Muko, our kitty communicator, Sergeant Tripod. Sparky the Welder, Ree, Sigh. America Will Survive, happy 2024. Yes, Sam, our friend from down under. Sergeant Tripod, Mr. Tizo. 1 day without trans violence. Nope, 0 days without trans violence. From what we've been told. And actually, that's something I'll cover in just a minute here. Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler, deplorable, Vladimir Putin, a KKK supporter. Yeah, tell me about it. I'm here. You can start the show. Okay, Lizzie Longtoes, my famous friend. And I'm sure Grandma is with you as well. Hello, hello. Welcome to the show. And I appreciate you being here. There are so many other people that you could be watching right now. So I really do appreciate the fact that you have decided to stick around and hang out with little old me. I'm about the war. Yes, I am. I am. The truth, if nothing else, I'm after the truth. I don't like to be lied to. When you don't have proper information, you aren't able to make proper decisions about your life. So, yes, I am. I'm about the war. The war on Christians, and the war on Republicans, and the war on, like I say, the truth. How many people do you see that actually get rewarded in Washington for the truth? How many have gotten kicked out because they tell the truth? In fact, that's why Jesus was crucified. He was the truth. Space Cowboy, I'm your ninja. Well, you know, you can watch me. You can binge watch me, Lizzie. She's been calling for my show all week. You can binge watch me. I've got shorts and everything else. In fact, I'm hoping to do more work. Me and Vincenzo have come up with a couple of scripts that we're going to do. One I want to do for the commercial. I want to do a commercial for the media group, and also too, I'd like to do another commercial for my channel as well. One of those ones that you put in the front. So, like I say, the truth is raisins. Yes, it is. Let's see. All right. Hope I'm not missing anyone. Sparky the Welder. Okay. Over here on Rumble, I am the resistance. Here's what I heard. Michelle Obama has a penis. Mohab, hooray! Salty old fart, biggest dickus, thank you. Let's see who else. Limited access. Happy New Year. Okay, so far I'm not missing anybody. Nobody on YouTube and nobody on Kick. I actually have quite a few lurkers. That's fine with me. In fact, I was lurking last night. In fact, I didn't even sign into Rumble. I was lurking last night watching Salty. All right, real quick. I know I hate this and everybody hates this, but everybody has to do this. And if you don't ask, the answer is always no. Don't forget all the convenient ways you can support my channel. Happy New Year, of course. That way you can support the Power of 1A going on for everyone while improving the show as we go. And again, the more you guys support me, the more I actually can do. My channel is completely supported by you guys, so thanks for all the support. Super chat me on Rumble. Super chat me on Odysee. Ko-Fi. I have Ko-Fi, which comes highly recommended by Pastor Chatelet. You can do one time or a monthly thing, or however often you want to pay. Like I say, sometimes you can't be here, but you'd like for me to be here when you get back. So that's the way to make sure that I'm tipped, even though you aren't able to be here, which is fine sometimes. Also, Odysee has a monthly option for the diehards. There's PayPal. And of course, you see this little thingy below me here. That's my Cash App. You can just scan that. I try to give you lots of options, even though it's really hard for me to keep up with all of them. But I manage, so thank you, of course. And all of the links to all of that stuff is below, including all of the social media and everything else like that, too. So click on some of them, will ya? All right. Thanks in advance. For some of you, best thing, of course, you know to do is tweet me out, put me on your social media, share me with your friends, get them to come in, call in, and open. My brain's going faster than my mouth is. My mouth can go. Have them call in and exercise their First Amendment rights. That's the whole purpose of my show, is to get people talking. Because we should never just shut our mouths voluntarily. That's what they want. That's the reason why they call you names. That's the reason why they try to use all this psychology on you. Just remember, and I don't know if you want to even call him a person, but the only one's opinion that should matter to you is Jesus Christ. Everybody else can go kick rocks. Or go find Christ. How about that? All right, after all of the events happening, and of course 2024, this is an election year. Things have already kicked off. And after all the events happening, it seems now more than ever, freedom of speech is extremely important. So we got to keep it up and support those that are supporting it and trying to get those out there and everything like that. So, and of course, one of these days I'm going to put this on a t-shirt, maybe. Never surrender, never shut up. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines now. Let me find there it is. Let me make sure that they haven't changed any of the damn settings on me. It seems like every time I open up a program, especially Microsoft, it turns into an ordeal. Somebody wants to call me. It's like, hello, are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I feel like that guy on the commercial. We shouldn't be the guinea pigs for this stuff. It should work when we get it. Okay, everything looks like it's in order. The phone lines are now open. Question of the day. Who did I see on here just now? Lady Iron. Welcome to the show. DGddss. Pardon me. Post nasal drip. It's been chilly down here, and that always messes with my sinuses for some dumb reason. All right. question of the day while you watch this crapola is, what do you all think that they're trying to divert our attention from this time? Given all the media expansion, or excuse me, the media explosion of the Epstein case files. Like I said before, a lot of people are mistakenly calling this the Epstein client list. No, it's not. It's the case files that have been opened that basically talks about, or talks to, what witnesses said. And again, a lot of it is still retracted or redacted or whatever they call it. So, yeah, and now another school shooting in Iowa, of all places, which, according to what I've been seeing, ebb tide. Oh, the Super Bowl, really? Isn't that like at the end of January? Something like that, yeah. Yeah, there was all kinds of there was all kinds of memes about that. If you're on Odysee, Youngberg just posted a really good meme on that. But to be honest with you, that's terrible. No one has any fucking respect for anything anymore. No respect for authority, anything like that. And this person literally thought that they were going to get probation again. Now, according to what I was reading, what is it? Nevada is a 3 times you're out state. Basically, he's been given all the chances that he's going to get. Well, I'll go back to that in just a minute. Of course, like I say, isn't Iowa one of like the big deal things with the elections and stuff like that? So yeah, all eyes on Iowa right now. And of course, you're seeing on the screen here the person that perpetrated this lascivious and lewd act. Obviously some kind of monster that would go out and kill 6th graders. They don't tell us a whole lot about it, and I noticed also, too, that almost within the hour of them identifying this person, all of their social media was erased. I wonder what they're afraid of when it comes to this kind of stuff. Obviously, they do this because they had some kind of a manifesto. Supposedly, this picture on the left... On the left? My left. Yes. This picture... supposedly this picture on the left is him, her, shim, sure, whatever. Like 10 minutes before they started going around shooting at people. So, put it this way. I'm actually surprised they didn't live feed it. I don't understand why, because that's been done. It has been done. The live feeds when this kind of stuff happens and everything like that. So, yeah. But, back to, the other guy. It's been a wild first 4 days of the new year. But then again, we knew this was coming. We've been saying it. Our little talking heads that we all follow. I've been saying it. You've been saying it. Anybody that's been talking online has been saying it. They're going to just get worse and worse and worse. And of course, again, it's their mantra. Nobody ever repeats this, but this is actually what it is. By any means necessary. To be completely honest with you, I'm surprised they haven't Kennedy'd Trump yet, if you will. Ebtide, don't trust Trunies with guns. Johnny Engineer, welcome to the show. I see a new face in the crowd here. Kerfuffle, yes, quite the kerfuffle. Let's see. If everybody just stopped farting, this wouldn't happen. Yeah, it's limited access says, and the weird thing is come back here. Them they shooters always target little kids, assholes. It's almost like as if they can't groom them, nobody can. You know what I mean? It's almost like you've seen the things where a lover will come after a man that's gone after somebody else or like that. Oh, well, if I can't have you, nobody can, and then they kill him or something like that. That's what this kind of in a way seems like in a way too, because according to everything else that I've been reading and seeing about this particular shooting, they were an activist for trans people, trans kids. So again, it sounds like somebody that might possibly have gotten thwarted or denied. You know what I'm saying? People are starting to say, hey, look, I want to be me, but not at the expense of all of this. And, you know, the parents aren't liking it. And, you know, it was not very long ago that up until the time you were 18 as a child, you couldn't make your own decisions like this, especially majorly life-altering changes. Transmissions are severely mentally compromised. They aren't being treated for their aberrations, but affirmed. This is like telling Charlie Manson's it's okay, you crazy fuck. It's totally natural. Yeah, a lot of them are also being told, and this is something else that I've been seeing and reading too. In fact, I watched that trailer for that young lady that's detransitioning that was told that she could be a man, and that one of the things that has mentioned is that she remembers her parents being told by the doctors that, oh, they could either have a live son or a dead daughter if they aren't allowed to do all of this stuff to her. That's manipulation, if you ask me. I mean, why would anyone threaten the lives of a child to a parent in that aspect other than something devious? And, of course, the big bucks that come from it. It's like the sucker theory. One born every minute. And, of course, medical people are supposed to be trustworthy. They are the experts. They've had all the schooling. They've had all the... But, yeah, what are they schooling them in these days? They certainly aren't taking the oath anymore of do no harm. Oh, let's see. Psych the judge like a boss. Yeah. Well, we'll go back. I'm going to go back to this now. Let's see. Okay. All right. We knew it would be a wild first of the year, of course. Of course, we didn't know how wild, and things are only going to get worse as things get closer to election. You know this. But it's mainly because of the fact that these folks on the other side have nothing but tunnel vision. They have no policies. They're not telling anybody exactly what they're going to do for us. Infrastructure. That is a very long, big subject. It could be anything. Infrastructure. I mean, you know, your body has infrastructure, for fuck's sake. You got a skeleton and all that. So very, very, you know, could mean anything. It keeps a lot of them quiet, though, and all this other stuff. But in the meantime, it's all Trump this, and Trump supporters that, Trump supporters that. Which most of us, from what I'm seeing, are going to rallies, talking about the fact that we don't like the economy right now. We don't want to support any more wars anywhere, which we never did. Not happy with the state of some of these cities. You know, and he keeps talking on infrastructure. There is no infrastructure. You haven't done any infrastructure. The only thing that's going on in these big cities right now is crime. They're not burning anything down right now, but they sure are taking advantage of the lower cops and all that other. So, meanwhile, they're telling us, oh, crime has gone down. Bullshit! All right. He didn't like Sharon Tate, but he didn't tell anyone to go kill them. He bit the bullet, probably trying to be a martyr. He failed. Yeah. Summer is riot season. Yeah, that's everybody's looking for that extra job in the summertime. Well, and also, too, because a lot of these cities that are having these problems are northern cities, too. So you got the snowbirds. They'll go up there in the summertime. There's a lot more population in some of these places in the summertime. So that makes sense, though. Squeaky did the forking. Okay. All right. Well, like I say, their only option, though, is get Trump. Meanwhile, everything else around the world is going absolutely nuts. Now, back to this dude. This is the video. This is the full video of this. And I'm going to tell you, because I saw this last night too. The first person that I saw cover it last night was Officer Tatum. And I was completely in disagreement with what he said about this. Hold on just a second. Let me show you the whole thing. Play. Here we go. Viewer discretion is advised.
By virtue of you pleaded guilty, I hereby judge you guilty of attempt battery with substantial bodily harm.
Okay, this guy actually pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty, all right? A lot of people are leaving that out too. This is from what she's saying. I don't know if you can hear her. I'll try. It's up as loud as it'll go. Let's see. Try that.
I'm a person who never stops trying to do the right thing.
Really? This is the guy now, all right? He's a person who never stops trying to do the right thing. So every once in a while, he just does the wrong thing and gets caught for it. Really?
No matter how hard it is.
Really? No matter how hard it is, he always tries to do the right thing. So I guess he's walking little old ladies across the street, and he's helping mamas with their groceries to carry them around, you know, and he's babysitting, and he's giving homeless people's money and shoes and all this other thing, no matter how hard it is. And of course, that's after he's beaten the shit out of somebody else and stole it from them. He's a modern day Peter, no, not Peter Pan. Peter Pan. No, not Peter Pan. Somebody remind me. Peter Pan. You know, Robin Hood, not Peter Pan. I knew it was one of those Disney characters. Robin Hood. He's a modern day Robin Hood. Look at this.
I just, you know, and I'm trying, and I never give up trying to do the right thing.
I just get caught doing the bad things every once in a while. So it says a defendant in a felony battery case charged a Nevada judge. And this is what happens. She says,
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else, because I just can't with that history.
okay, so this is his third, maybe fourth time in front of a judge for this kind of thing. She says, you've got a history, you keep doing this. I can't just let you go this time, all right? No matter how good you're trying to do, it's not good enough, obviously, or else he wouldn't be standing there right now, all right? Modern day Robin Hood, don't forget.
Words with the laws of the state of Nevada.
Okay, yeah. She's not even doing this on a personal thing. She's literally doing this based on the law, which is, again, 3 strikes over there, I believe, from what I've been reading and what I've heard. So he's like, nah, fuck that shit. You ain't gonna tell me what I'm gonna do. I've been telling you how good I've been doing, and you're gonna ignore that? If you were doing that fucking good, would you be standing in front of this judge right now? No! No! But this is he's trying to do the best he can possibly do, and this is it. The courtroom marshal was hospitalized. The judge wasn't, although he did get a hold of her. He smacked her a couple of times. You saw that. But, really? This was your best? This was your best? Not to mention the absolute the absolute asinine excuse or diatribe that you gave her before this. Oh, I'm trying to do my best. By beating the shit out of people? That's your best? Well, if that's your best, buddy, then we need you off the streets. Thank you very much. You need to be out of society. Freak Dog Show. Mrs. Bott and I doing Taco Thursday at the Hideaway. Daughter Izzy is with us. Not amused. We are streaming in the bar. Shout out for Izzy. Hey, ya, Izzy! Welcome, welcome. There's more people that need to hear stuff like this and need to see, because a lot of people don't know that this kind of stuff's going on. There's still, you know, even as popular as the internet is, this kind of stuff doesn't seem to be penetrating the right people, or the people that we need it to be penetrating. or finding out. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Oh, I'm just trying to do my best. Fuck you, Judge. This is my best. No, I'm sorry. Unacceptable. I'm telling you, I'm actually hoping that there's a follow-up on this. We need to know the outcome of this. All right, this judge was already perturbed with this person, or not even really perturbed with this person. She seemed like she was following whatever it was law that is there, period. Okay? That's not a bad thing. If that's the case, that's not a bad thing. All right? I don't know anything about her. There's been speculation that she was one of those bleeding hearts and that she let people off, or that she was his judge this whole time. I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was the case. And in accordance to the law of the state, or whatever it was she was residing in, she was doing what she was supposed to be doing. So it was that moment he realized he fucked up. Actually, I don't think he thinks that. Or, you know, and it's this kind of impulse control that's gotten him into this kind of trouble in the first place. This is his third or fourth time doing this, or being in front of a judge, being, you know, he got probation the first 3 times, or first 2 times, which again made him think, oh, I got away with it. I'll get away with it again. And if they don't let me, I'll just race card, which that's probably what's coming next. Probably what's coming next. But he's like, oh, fuck no, I ain't letting this white lady tell me nothing. She's a judge, dude. And you're a criminal. What do you think's gonna happen? So, now, my problem is, Officer Tatum, like I say, the first time I saw this, well, I first saw it on Salty. But I only saw just the guy jumping over. I didn't see any of the, he didn't show a whole lot of the other part of it until the next day. So, so the first person I actually saw do any commentary on it was Officer Tatum. And he says, well, not that I'm defending this guy, but these judges got to realize that they're not untouchable. And she was saying some mess that would have been disrespectful to anybody. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, he's like, oh, you can't just run your mouth like this. Because she was like, basically, he was upset about her saying that he needed a taste of something else. Because what he's done so far is unacceptable. And according to the law, she has to do this. But I was like, no, Tatum, I'm sorry, but no. Absolutely no excuse whatsoever for this person's actions, period. But, again, this is who he is, obviously. If this is his third time in front of her, or his third time in front of a judge for battery, or whatever it was that he... And notice they didn't tell us what he did either. And hadn't told us what he did beforehand either. It's all just, he jumped over the thing. I didn't do nothing too many, Laura. Yeah, well, like I say, she, according to what I could see her and how I listened to this, because I've seen it a bunch of times since Officer Tatum said that, and of course, Twitter is absolutely full with the memes and everything like that. So, but I got to tell you, with this person's superpower, because I mean, have you ever been to a court? Judges usually are pretty way high up there. You know what I'm saying? In fact, most times you have to hand whatever paperwork or whatever like that to somebody else so that they can go around and hand it to them. So this person was a high jumper. If only this person would have used their strength, their superpowers, or whatever it was that made them bound over that bench. I mean, and this was nothing but net too. I mean, he didn't touch nothing. He didn't do like if you're like jumping over a fence and you push yourself up over the fence. He just whee, like he grew wings or some shit. So if only he could use that superpower for good. But obviously not. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in front of a judge. All right. Let's see. And I was going to say also too, he was claiming that he was using his superpowers for good. But I guess that's what evil people do, or I guess that's what criminals do. They claim that they are doing good, or maybe they even think that they're doing good. I don't know. I was going to say, it would be pretty funny if we found out that this guy was actually beating pedophiles instead of whatever. They were charging him for. Now, that wouldn't be a bad thing. He'd still get into some trouble. But I think people would be on his side a little bit more than what they are now. And this action here shows me that that wasn't the case either. Ms. Bot grabbed the phone and held it in the air. Did somebody record it? I'd love to see that. That'd be great. Flying monkeys are real. Away! Away! I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. I used to do that real good. Let's see. Hey there, great to see you. All right, I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody. All right, share, share, share. Don't forget that get this out there. Let's try to grow. My goal is to grow a little bit this year, if I can possibly grow a little bit this year. If nothing else, to at least add one more platform and possibly do a video a week. Depending on what's going on. Like I say, I have to see what's going on. But don't forget, this is a call-in talk show. Call me and answer the question, what do you think they're trying to divert our attention away from? I've got a few ideas, and that's actually what I'm going to cover as far as that goes, as long as someone isn't calling. But you can talk about whatever you want. That's just a question to get the ball rolling. But, they're covering the hell. Let's see what I got next here. They're covering the hell out of the Jeffrey Epstein. Again, a lot of people are trying to convince everybody that this was his client list. It is not. It was paperwork and transcripts from his court case when they put him in jail. Such as it was in Florida, I do believe. Federal judges ordered the unsealing of 167 Jeffrey Epstein John Does from Ghislaine Maxwell's civil case. Okay. There's a lot of confusion and bad information in the media surrounding this issue. Here are some necessary context on the John Doe's threads. Technofog. I don't know if anybody else follows Technofog. This guy is supposedly a lawyer, and I actually checked out his site today. He seems pretty legit, so I'll go over a few things that he posted on here about this. Again, I still think that, well, there's people that are saying that even this is covering up more about Epstein than letting us know what about Epstein. And I'll show you that in here in a minute too. Case number, blah, 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 document 1315, filed 12/18/23, page 51 of 51. The court says, the court stays its order for 14 days to permit any impacted doe the opportunity to appeal, after which counsel are asked to prepare the documents for unsealing pursuant to this order, and post the documents on the docket. We previously chartered and organized each John Doe and previously summarized this material back in February of 2023. The majority, around 100 of 167, have been identified. Approximately 11 of the unidentified John Does are victims. And then they gave examples. Okay, what was that? Pagans, go fuck yourselves, you evil pieces of shit. Okay, who are you talking about? Izzy! Okay, let me pull this up. I can actually read this. There was some stuff that I really can't read. It's so small I can't read it, but I can tell you what I've heard others say about it, I guess. This material should be unsealed in full. First, no interests that outweigh the presumption of access have been identified with specificity. D. Russia. Let's see. Second, this individual's association with Epstein has been reported in the media already. Avenatti, John Doe, Avenatti, 2020. This individual is a public figure, and none of the materials that relate to him are salacious. John Doe, 23. This material should be unsealed in full. This individual's role in Epstein's sex trafficking has been widely reported in the media. Second Circuit unsealed allegations about this individual in this case, and he or she was subject to widely publicized criminal prosecution abroad for sex trafficking. says Avenatti. Was this guy their attorney, or is this who they're talking about? John Does. They're talking about a bunch of John Does. I see the guy's name Avenatti here a lot, but they don't tell us who these people are. We previously charted and categorized each John Doe and previously summarized this material back in February. The majority, okay, he already did this one, and they showed examples of it. Then he went on, lawyers for Maxwell and Jeffrey, the victim, informed the court that quite a few of the John Does were only mentioned in passing or in a benign context, or that sealed material as to the individual is not salacious. Examples. On this one, John Doe number 030. First, this individual did not raise any objection to unsealing this, and thus did not meet his or her burden of identifying interests that outweigh the presumption of excess. Second, the sealed material as to this individual is not salacious. In other words, they were just mentioning it in passing. And then I saw Prosobiac, whatever it was, posted something to the effect that they asked somebody if they saw Trump, and they did, but they didn't have any other contact with him at all. Didn't massage him, didn't, you know, and actually a lot of them didn't have anything to say. Most of it was that he wasn't there. He was never there. There's actually some pictures going around on the internet trying to place him with Epstein and a bunch of girls, and they're terribly, terribly photoshopped. So not only can the left not meme, they suck at Photoshop. I've seen a lot of stuff today. I've caught up a lot of stuff, but it's like, yes, within the last 4 days. Holy crap. In fact, one of the things that I heard Salty talk about was that on the 1st, there was a stabbing or something in England, I think, for New Year's night, and somebody was going to ram into pedestrians when an Uber thwarted him, and he ended up only killing 2 people and had explosives in the car. And so, yeah, there's been quite a few things going on. Let's see. Learn humility. Stop pretending you are perfect. You aren't, and you are just as evil as every human on the planet. Only Jesus can save you, and we don't deserve that. Learn humility. Are you talking to me, Space Cowboy? I'm far from perfect. In fact, like I tell you, I always hear that this is what I heard. I'm not telling anybody truths, or, you know, I'm trying to get to the truth by things that I listen to and everything like that, and then putting it out there. And of course, my ideas of freedom of speech and all that other is probably a lot more open than a lot that say that. That's why I do a call-in talk show. Feel like we're going to get the names that are obvious. Yeah, the ones that we already know from February. In fact, if you guys remember Dog Meat or whatever the hell his name was, he sent me a list that had a bunch of names on it. It was actually supposedly the client list. And of course, oh, another funny thing too, if you guys, in fact, it was actually trending here for a little bit when I was looking for this, but Meathead, good old Rob Reiner's panicking, telling everybody, look at Trump, look at Trump, look at Trump. Just because he wasn't on the list doesn't mean that he wasn't there and he wasn't involved, which actually that's exactly what it does mean. But he he went on to say that if my name is on there, it's a different Rob Reiner. Really? So was this different Rob Reiner? Was he a millionaire? Was he an influential actor or news commentator as you are now? Was this person in some kind of politics or anything like that? Because we're finding out through a lot of other things that they didn't mention. This is another thing that they were talking about, how they're hiding things in plain sight just by talking so much and focusing so much on the people that were in this supposed list and everything like that, that he was actually a Mossad. Was it Mossad? Pirate, Space Pirate Yvonne, thank you for the donation. You get one of these. Happy New Year. Yes, Meathead. And he's like, yeah, man, if there's a Rob Reiner on that list, it's a different Rob Reiner. As if. As if. So, yeah, he's panicking. Bit confused when it looked like a deposition and not a list per se. Well, that's just it. It's not actually a list. It is the case files for the Ghislaine Maxwell case. They asked all kinds of people all kinds of stuff about who did you see, and again, one of the ones. Let me see if I can find it. I thought I had it. Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec posted it. That one of the conversations was with one of the victims. Did you ever see Donald Trump? No, most of them said that. So his name was in passing. I'm not even, and this was actually even after Trump had kicked him out. Trump kicked him out of his life in like 2007. But again, this guy was supposedly hired by Israel through Ghislaine Maxwell's father, who supposedly was a triple agent, which, how does that happen, you know? Uptied. Good call. I clearly missed the multi-layered joke I made. Yeah, man, you're just so good at it that you don't even realize it. You're a poet and you don't even know it, right? Okay, where was I? If DJT was there, he'd already been in prison. Oh, yeah. Well, that goes back to the fact that paparazzi's been on his ass for at least the last, 40? As long as he's been a popular person, the paparazzi's been up his ass for a long time. In fact, there was a lady that spoke with, I think it was Larry Elder at one time, that said that she was his publicist, or not publicist, but she was his shadow from the news. I think Washington Post, New York Post, whatever it was, New York Times, whatever. And that within 40 years, if we hadn't found anything on him, we're not going to. And we didn't. And like I say, all of this shit would have been out when he came down the stairs. This would have ruined him immediately. It would have. So again, this is another reason why nobody's buying this shit. And again, they're panicking because they all thought that they were going to be able to pinpoint and focus in on Trump if he was on any of these mentions or anything like that, and be able to point at him, even though they were the ones there doing the bad things. That's the way they always do, though. They never admit, nobody ever admits fault. They never admit fault. Thank you again for the donation, Yvonne. Here you get another one of these. Triple agents agent for themselves. Yeah, well, like I say, this was, they were working against the United States, basically, when they found out he wasn't really good for anything other than sex, which he seemed to be very, very, focused on. And I'll show you that here in a minute. PJW, showed us something that nobody else is showing us too, about Epstein, that I'll show you in a minute. He was he kind of, if you think about it and you do the comparison, he was kind of Trumpish. Or, excuse me, not Trumpish at all. Excuse me, not Hitlerish. See, they've got me conflating that so much, I went right to Trump. No, he's actually kind of Hitlerish because he wanted to create a race of himself, basically. I'll show you that here in a second. Oh, where am I? Okay. Actually, another thing with this paperwork and everything come out, could it be that they're trying to really hard deflect folks' attention away from the horrible, horrible approval rates that Biden has right now? Thank you for the donation there, Yvonne. Once again, you get one of these. He said, that's not what I said, for Cook's sake. 2 penis, 1 butt, or 2 women, 1 cup. You decide. Neither. If you have not made a choice, if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Yes. Neither. Thank you very much. Not into either one of those. In fact, I was, good God, that two women, 1 cup. That's almost 30 years old now, if I remember correctly. So maybe even more. Okay, little bit of drama going on. Johnny the engineer. He just posted the, what is that? Is that San Francisco? Yeah, is that the San Francisco poop map? All right, so I'm going to show you the one other thing that PJW mentions about this that nobody else has. This is coming directly off of YouTube too, so but yeah, this blew my mind.
But like basically all elitists, Epstein was transfixed with transhumanism and life extension technologies. Turns out Epstein wanted to freeze his own head, and yes, also his penis. Epstein's sprawling ranch in New Mexico, which was pedantically maintained by staff yet rarely used or visited by Epstein himself, appeared to have one main bizarre function: to serve as a baby-making facility where Epstein would attempt to help foster his dream of, quote, seeding the human race with his DNA by impregnating women. According to the New York Times.
Tell me, isn't that what Hitler wanted to do? Create the perfect race? So come on, you gonna tell me Trump had anything to do with this person? Give me a break. Give me a break. Not to mention the fact that he didn't, well...
Times. Mr. Epstein told scientists and businessmen about his ambitions to use his New Mexico ranch as a base where women would be inseminated with his sperm and would give birth to his babies. Epstein's goal was to have 20 women impregnated at a time at the 33,000 square foot ranch. This is why, since the early 2000s, Epstein became obsessed with ingratiating himself with the technological and scientific elite. But how does the pursuit of life extension and this bizarre baby harvesting program connect with Epstein's sordid sex parties and his trafficking of minors? And bear with me here, because this is where it gets well freaky. Several ancient powerful cults believed that engaging in occult tantric sex magic rituals could extend their lives by decades. One of these cults,
Ew, I just thought of something. If this was gonna be, if he was gonna do that too, what's to say that he wasn't going to impregnate his own children as far as that goes afterwards? He's having these women have these babies so that he can extend his life by this. Gross. This guy was another monster that had too much money, more money than sense. Do not search YouTube for 2 women, 1 cup. You won't find the video, but you will find reactions. And please do not trust me. You won't want to see the original video. I still regret my own curiosity. I actually had somebody send it to me, Yvonne, a long time ago. Like I say, that video is almost 30 years old, if I remember correctly. Because I've been on the internet since since 89. Since 89. Just before that, it wasn't continuous. It was just like bulletin boards. Like almost like email is today. But you get one of these. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. I am Kevin. The Island Boys are supposedly his kids. Really? Good Lord. I can imagine from what I've heard, my germophobia wouldn't allow my stomach to stay settled should I see it. Yeah. Well, like I said, I saw it a long time ago, and I don't recommend it. In fact, it's a nightmare. It's something I would like to use on myself about the Men in Black thing. I would love to be able to erase that memory. It was nasty. Pastor, would you deal with these 2 people in my chat? Y'all behave. Y'all behave. We supposed to be together. I don't even have any idea what you guys are talking about here. 26.6 modern style. The 2 girls, 1 cup shit was just that shit, like South Park would say. German, yeah. Like I say, it's one of those things I would love to be able to erase from my memory. Come on, Men in Black, come see me. Organ harvester, blood donations for Epstein himself, things that make you go, Yep, gross. Okay, of course, like I said before, and I was talking about before, and this is actually something else that PJW pointed out too. But there's a lot of people on Twitter and everything like that are pointing this out too. That he worked for the Israeli spy and all that other stuff like that through his girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell. Her father was supposedly a triple agent. Blah blah blah. But this is what he was doing and why he was doing it. This is, I give you, let's see, who is this? Let's see. Who is this? I got it. Assad is actually who he was working for. Tim Burchett. This is from the Benny Show. But this is another one of the only people I see that's talking out about this, other than the person that they primaried, that guy in the wheelchair that came out and talked about the sex and cocaine parties. But yeah, this is what they do, and why it's so easy, and why all of our politicians seem to be so corrupt nowadays. It's this.
It's how it works. You're visiting, you're out of the country, or out of town, or you're in a motel or bar in D.C., and some, whatever you're into, women or men or whatever, comes up, and they're very attractive, and they're laughing at your jokes, and you're buying them a drink. Next thing you know, you're in the motel room with them naked, and next thing you know, you're about to make a key vote, and what happens?
The food run.
Some well-dressed person comes up and whispers in your ear, "Hey man, there's tapes out on you. Were you in a motel room on whatever with whoever?" And then you're like, "Uh-oh," and said, "You really ought not be voting for this thing."
Wow, I only thought there was like one Swalwell. Turns out there's dozens.
Oh yeah, I've also heard too that I don't remember who it was that talked about this. It might have been Benny Johnson, but supposedly they found Fang Fang dead too. So I don't know. Wanted to see a horn fight. Shoot Ivan. I'm so disappointed that she was not yelling at Pastor to handle me. Why would I send Pastor to handle you? I can handle you. Besides, you're not yelling at somebody else in my chat right now. But I was going to say, but you are a moderator, so handle it. All right. Of course, let's see. Don't forget, phone lines are still open. So yeah, this is what happens, and this is what supposedly Epstein was doing, because what can I tell you? They do this so that they can get their own way, obviously. There's been several people that have come out and say that. Even George Santos, who they kicked out. And again, this is what I mentioned earlier in the show. You don't get punished for telling lies. You don't get punished for lying and telling secrets or keeping secrets and all this other stuff. You get punished for telling the truth. Nobody on Kick at the moment. And nobody on YouTube. Goodness gracious. Well, we heard from Hallie up in New York. I hope she's doing okay. Everything's all right with her. I haven't even seen anybody come on YouTube at all yet. So I was watching them. All right, Sergeant Tripod. Climate change, yeah. Why she got 2 nipples? Okay, I'm not gonna answer that. All right. I also found this. Donald Trump posting information with regards to all of these fraudulent election during the 2020 election. Greetings, you're on the air.
Hi. Sorry, Laura. I wasn't yelling at you, but I have a serious issue with Bloodborne Witch. Okay? She's a pagan. She has not admitted her sin. She comes in the chat. She pretends like she's so innocent. And the fact is she's a sinner. And she pretends like, and I'm tired of it. Okay? And whoever gave me a 2-minute warning or a timeout, Yvonne or Pastor, I don't care.
I take it that this is, let me see, who's yelling in here. Is it Sparky? No. Not Sparky.
No, this is Space Cowboy.
Oh, Space Cowboy. Okay, welcome to the show. Well, I didn't catch what she told you to make you feel that way. I've never had any problems.
That was like 2 months ago. This has been going on for a while. Okay? And now I just got a 2-minute timeout over this. She's the one who needs a timeout to understand that she is outside of God's law. She is unrepentant. She claims she's innocent and not a sinner. Okay? And that's my problem with her, that she's innocent and not a sinner. We're all not innocent. We are all sinners. We have all committed crimes against God and each other.
Yes.
She wants to pretend like she's not. No.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that myself. I'm so sorry that you're having these problems, but...
She does it all the
Actually,
time.
according to Space Pirate Yvonne, he says he gave her a timeout also. Yeah, I just don't want you guys fighting in my chat. It's not
Yvonne
necessary.
should go suck a dick. He's a bitch-ass motherfucker, too, who's lying.
Oh, my goodness.
He's nice to the pond, but he chooses friends, and he gets all twisted sideways all the time over a whole bunch of shit.
Hey, Agent X, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
So, okay, well, I haven't seen... I'm sorry for being profane.
All right. Limited Access said, sad to say it's not up to you to judge her, and honestly, you're going about it the wrong way.
As a Christian, my place to judge her. Yes, absolutely. She puts herself into a Christian place, and Corinthians is very clear that the word is to be used for correction and teaching. Very clear about that. Okay? Read the word of God. And she continues to claim she's lying. I have never even spoken to it. She's full of crap. We've had this issue several times in the last few months when she claimed she was innocent and I'm not a sinner and all this stuff on Pastor's channel. I don't care.
Ivan has fans all over the Odysee and Rumble. Yeah.
Well, Yvonne rescued me when but that doesn't matter. I don't care. I really don't care. Space Pirate Yvonne. I'm a bigger pirate than that dude will ever be. Ever be. Period.
You guys are
I've
awful.
been hunting Nazis for 20 years on the internet.
Rocky!
I know what Nazism looks like. Okay?
So are you
Yvonne,
saying we have an infiltrator?
But
Is she trying to divide us?
She is.
What does
yes.
What does Pastor say?
Is. She's trying to claim that she's innocent because she isn't a sinner. That will divide the Christians. Okay? If we're really Christians, when someone comes in and says they're innocent, you're not innocent. You're a grown-ass adult. You have to accept responsibility for your sin. I'm sorry, Laura. I don't mean to yell at you. I love you, sister. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to jump out of this whole chat because this is bullshit, and this bitch is a fucking division. Period.
All right, bud. Wow. Okay, guys. Like I say, I'm not real sure how that happened. Somebody said something he's butthurt about something for 2 months ago. Now, you guys know I don't hang out here that much. I don't hear about a lot of this stuff, but didn't get a whole lot of information there either. I'm curious. The only thing that I could see that would make you that angry about that would be that if she called you a sinner in the meantime, or something, or she called you a bad name or something like that. You denied your complicity in your own sin and complained innocence of sin because I am a good person. Yeah, well, it's like I said the other day, and I said this to my parents because they were talking about people doing things that they shouldn't be. But it's actually an attribute of human nature to, if you think you're going to get away with something, you will. You'll try it. I mean, come on, look at all the things that are happening in the cities and everything like that right now. And the guy that jumped over the bench, I mean, have we ever seen anything like that before? Actually, to be honest with you, a lot of people are saying that those bailiffs, the bailiffs and the guys in the place should have actually been fired because he shouldn't have been able to get even near the bench, much less be able to jump over it. But holy crap. Family meetings, all good. He kept trying to harass me. I ignored him. Okay. Yeah. That was Whammers. Okay, you guys. All right. Thank you to my moderators out there. And I'm sorry you guys are fighting. It's not necessary, and I don't like that, but what can I tell you? I have no control over it. I'm not going to take sides because I have no idea what the fuck's going on. So you guys can explain it to me. I probably won't understand it because I still don't understand the thing with Rant. But I don't see him. I don't see him live anymore or anything like that either. So you guys must have chased him off. Either that or he didn't he have cancer? Is he like sick or something? Or was that a lie too? Was that based on, is that part of the reason why you guys shunned him because he lied about that or something? I don't know. Just lost 10 people on Rumble. Sorry. I thought people like stuff like that. Do they come to me because I'm so mellow and not into fighting or whatever? Disregard, I have it honeypotted. God, I hope not. You know what that means, right? You know what they're calling that. He says it because I do not lie and I do not lust. Okay. All right. So, let's see. What other things am I finding here? The tweet. Okay, back to the tweet that they posted about Donald Trump pulling out all of the stuff. In fact, I pulled it up on Truth Social. Kyle Becker News, an election integrity review conducted on 92 court challenges filed over the 2020 election, found that a clear majority of the cases decided on the merits were ruled favorably for the plaintiffs, particularly the Republican Party and the Trump campaign. You're going to want to bookmark this, remarked Arizona Sun-Times reporter Rach Ick. This is a compilation of all the 2020 election challenges and what became of them. Despite the MSM lies that 60-plus election challenges, found no evidence of wrongdoing, there were actually 92 cases, with only 30 decided on the merits, and of those 30, Trump and or the GOP plaintiff prevailed in 22 of them. Many states have since decided that 2020 election practices, such as the inclusion of privately funded Zucker boxes, were either illegal or were subsequently outlawed. Thus debunks a widespread narrative that Trump's legal challenges to the 2020 election were all baseless. Now, a lot of them, as we know, wouldn't even be seen. The judges were like, nah, frivolous lawsuit, throw it out. No, not even going to look at it, not even going to see it. Of course, I can't read any of these. They're tiny. Let's see. Donald J. Trump for Press Inc. versus Bookstar. Number, blah, blah, blah. 21820 or 220 or 62920. Process. No. Pennsylvania. Vote by mail. Notice care for mismatches, missing signatures or mistakes, witness requirements, failure to include ID doc, etc. Dismissed. Lack of standing on federal claims. Other claims did not have a statutory base. Case not fully heard. And they closed it. But like I say, you can see all the ones. It looks like they're all color-coded. See, I can't read the one in the red. Green says, granted injunction, sequestration of late ballots. Granted, extended poll hours. Rules, yes. These are all, but like I say, these are all compilated court cases that actually disprove what the mainstream media has been telling us about the fact, oh, they got nothing. They got no proof. And, of course, he posted this, and right afterwards, the Epstein files, with everybody screaming and yelling, Trump's going to be on there! Trump's going to be on there! And he wasn't. And the one part that, like I say, I saw it, I couldn't find it again, but the one thing I did see, there was a lot of actual ones that were fugabooed, like the one about the guy on late night TV, Jimmy Fallon? No, the other Jimmy. The scumbag from the man show or whatever it is. But yeah, that was fugaboo. That was faked. Because he was all freaking out about the football player that called him out. Oh yeah, he's gonna freak out when he's on this list and all this other stuff. Jimmy, what the hell is his name? I hate it when I forget names. Russian bot. Welcome to the show. I didn't have a 24/7 hangover. Dream Demons, welcome. Super Trucker. Yonky, welcome. New face in the show here. Fifth shot. Thought you guys quit that. Okay. Rugaroo, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Kimmel, thank you, Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know why I can't remember that name. I try to forget names of people that I don't really like and don't care for. As far as that goes, let's see, what was this one? What was this? Is this one of my funnies? Am I starting my funnies already? Oh, no, actually, no. Okay. So, yeah, he released all of these summaries, which actually, again, debunked all the stuff that the mainstream media has been telling us about, that, oh, no proof, these court cases, it couldn't get any, all of them rejected. No, that's crap. So, and I say they're running scared because a lot of them, I think a lot of them now that they know that they've been blackmailed, they're one of these people, whether it be an actress or a singer or one of these people that are part of the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it. All of these politicians, they've already been outed that at one time or another they have been able to have been blackmailed because they found themselves in a hotel room with somebody, or what can I tell you? And in fact, they have more proof against them in some cases than they do against Trump, and they're trying to make a lot of stuff up about Trump. Like I say, I've seen a bunch of photoshopped pictures with him and girls, and Epstein standing right there or behind his shoulder or sitting next to him with no legs. As I say, just like the left can't meme, they can't Photoshop worth a shit either. So, okay, I've forgotten what this is. Let me see what this is next. What have I got next here on my... Let's see. Ah, okay, this must be the Joe Rogan thing. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. What is it? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't know why this was in here like this. I put it in the wrong spot, but that's okay. This was actually one of my, oh my gods. This is, for my funnies tonight, I've got a lot of, wow, that's weird, or wow, that's wild videos today. Here's one of them. Interviewer, do you work well with the team? The team. Oh! Oh, that hurt. This is a pickleball, I've heard. This is pickleball, and a lot of people are just not really good at it either. So, ouch. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Rugaroo. That's their best effort. Leave Pure Blood Media alone. Yeah, I remember that. That's about a 30-year-old video too. I'll never forget that. In fact, I recorded that on one of my. I had one of those. I actually had a Microsoft phone at the time. It was like it had a stylus, and you could write on it. It was like almost like a mini pad before they came out, and you could flip it and then punch the numbers, and it had everything like that. Well, I actually recorded it on that, and it had a thing on it where I could speed up or make the voice sound like a chipmunk or something like that. So I recorded his line where, "How fucking dare you?" And then I put it in chipmunk speak. "How fucking dare you?" It was hilarious. Shit, you know, I didn't realize this. I was doing memes before it was cool to do memes. What can I say? I just thought that was hilarious. He was so fun. That particular video about Britney Spears was just so hilarious with him. And of course, he got all, he was one of the first virals and all that. He got all upset about the fact, that was the only time I wasn't acting and all this. And I was like, well, if that was the only time you weren't acting, then you're a horrible actor. And I can see that he doesn't really do a whole lot now anymore. In fact, the last time I saw him, which was about, I guess about 4 years now, he looks kind of normal. He's got a normal haircut, doesn't wear the makeup and all that shit anymore. What can I tell you? Epstein logs come out, release the tranny school shooter, then 15K caravan from Mexico and so on. Yeah, Dream Demons. Lots and lots of stuff going on. The reason everyone on the left thinks Trump would have blinked a kid is because they know they would if they were in that position. Boinked. Well, another one of the things that they try to get everybody to imagine and that he's doing is that he boinks his own kids. You know, you've seen the pictures of his younger daughter on his lap and all that other stuff, and then they'll put underneath it, "Oh, this is what Trump was into," and all this other and everything like that. When we actually have diary entries from Biden's daughter that he at least showered with her. What do you think was going on there? Yeah, shower time. Yeah, they want to, that's another thing too. They always want to, what about this? What about Trump? What about Trump? What about Trump? We're not talking about Trump right now. And what Trump did has absolutely nothing to do with whatever it is we're talking about, what they did at this point. Trump didn't hold a gun to these people's heads and make them do this because he does the same thing. No. So if you can do the whataboutism, so can I. And I will, damn it. Hal, welcome to the show. Appreciate it. Truth, it's projection or whatever, accusing others of what you're guilty of. Oh yeah. And that's, what is that? That comes from the Nazis. That's a total Nazi plan, which they actually got from the Democrats, according to the history. They wanted to do all of this stuff, and they couldn't because the Democrats had already done it. So they just replaced the plans that they had for, like, Jim Crow and everything like that for the Jews back in the day. How much shampoo does a werewolf use when he takes a shower anyhow? I don't know. I've never known or dated any werewolves, or watched any for that matter. What do you think about the Trump Your Friends app, friend or foe? I don't know anything about it. I'm not big on apps. I don't trust a lot of apps. I like to play a game every once in a while, but I don't even have TikTok. It's bad enough that they're tracking you everywhere that you go anyway. I don't need a bunch of apps doing that either. Probably foe, depending on where it came from. I'm sure that you gamers have heard this before, heard this already, or was listening to the same people I was listening to. But that gamer site that you guys all play on, the Alex Jones game is on there now. I forgot the name of that site. It's a gaming site. Pastor Shadley told me about it. I haven't even bothered to go over there. That's why I can't remember what it is. But yeah, if you guys want to check that out, supposedly he kills gay frogs, and it's a It's a video game, an Alex Jones video game. Steam powered, there you go. Thank you. All right, but now another thing, now this is from 2021, but I haven't heard a whole lot about it, and somehow or another it came across my feed today. Maybe it was just God telling me that this is another one of those things that you should probably look into or at least keep an eye on, because again, the more we talk about all this other stuff here, the less we pay attention to shit like this, which we probably should be. Ugh, everything reset just before I started the show.
They're planning on starting with, I think, 100 mammoths and putting them in this place called Pleistocene, not Pleistocene Park, something like that. This park in Siberia that they've been doing this experiment on as to what happens when you add megafauna back into the Arctic tundra to offset carbon emissions.
Wow. And so
they're going to bring back mammoths. They're going to try and bring back woolly mammoths to offset climate change. What could go wrong here? Let's see what the rest of he says.
they're using what DNA? They're using elephant DNA and mixing it with something else?
So they're taking Indian elephants and they're using CRISPR technology and they're using existing mammoth DNA and they're making an embryo and then they're implanting it into the Indian elephant, and 22 months later, an Indian elephant's gestation period, she will give birth to a mammoth.
A real mammoth?
A real mammoth.
First woolly mammoth will be launched
2024.
What?
Yeah.
Next year?
Next year. End of next year.
Oh my God.
They're planning.
So there's that. And of course, I had to look a little farther into it. New York Times has actually reported on it. Again, this is from 2021, but they're planning on this happening this year. New company with a wild mission, bring back the woolly mammoth. With $15 million in private funding, Colossal aims to bring thousands of woolly mammoths back to Siberia. Some scientists are deeply skeptical that that will happen. A team of scientists and entrepreneurs announced on Monday that they have started a new company to genetically resurrect the woolly mammoth. The company named Colossal aims to place thousands of these magnificent beasts back on the Siberian tundra. Thousands of years after they went extinct. This is a major milestone for us, said George Church. $15 million. Instead of trying to bring something back that's extinct, which is probably extinct for a reason, they're going to do this instead of trying to help people with cancer or help the homeless or help the refugees or help people. They're going to bring back something that could possibly backfire on us. Because, you know, a lot of people think, oh, we're causing all this extinction and everything. No! 25 things a year go extinct that we hadn't even discovered yet, based on the statistics of what they had said about that. And of course, trust the science, trust the science. Well, you know, I trust the science. I don't trust the scientists anymore. They're all paid propagandists from what I can tell. And if all the scientists agree on these things, that means that, yeah, they're not asking the right questions. They're not asking questions. How about no? I see you have Tweak on there. Is Tweak on here tonight? Don't understand. Mammoths went. I don't understand. Salty Man Jameson. You don't understand. Mammoths went extinct because of white people. Yeah, right. Actually, that was what I was going to mention. They're probably extinct for a reason, and we know that it doesn't have anything to do with humans, or at least not humans that Industrial Revolution type humans. It can't. In fact, were there even humans around when the woolly mammoth was around? Wasn't that like a dinosaur type of thing? So I guess in one instance, these guys have pretty much taken the Jurassic movies to heart about not bringing back carnivorous dinosaurs. But will this be any better, really? Really? Will it be any better? Because, again, what were their predators? Why did they die in the first place? Wasn't it because of the Ice Age? They couldn't find any more food? Or something like that? They got stranded on some kind of a island or something like that, or whatever? I forget. They're going to bring back something that's extinct. Bring back common sense. I'm with you there, salty old fart. Actually, I get the feeling that is one of the reasons why we do have the school shootings now. Nobody thinks critically anymore. These people also are being taught that because they're special groups, whatever it is, that they can get away with anything. What they don't count on, though, is the cops shooting them. This particular person ended up dead. So, us crackers perfected the mammoth diet. So we know that it's not the climate change that we supposedly imposed upon the world, as if we could actually have any effect on that at all, which we know we don't. I mean, there's still floods, there's still earthquakes, there's still tsunamis, which actually Japan was just hit with one. No, so, the high waves because of an earthquake out there. Ebtide says, I want a slab of those Flintstone ribs. Now, that might be a good reason to bring them back, to be able to feed people, but you know damn well that's not what they're doing. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing it because they can. They're doing it because they want to see if they can. In fact, it actually doesn't sound like they have any other plan other than just recreating them and seeing if they can do it. Bring it on, Russia. Well, like I say, that would be good if that was what they were doing it for. But they want us to eat insects and lab meat. So why would they do this if it was to help feed people? Not to mention the fact, how in the world, this is another thing, they screaming and yelling about too many cow farts, too many animal farts, too many farm farts or anything like that, but they're going to bring back thousands of mammoths. You don't think that that's going to have any effect on the methane intake of the atmosphere? And these things are 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as big as any fucking cow. So, Raw Candy, welcome to the show. So, yeah, like I say, I don't see the purpose in this except for these rich millionaires. Another rich millionaire play toy. Which will probably backfire if they can actually even inseminate an Indian elephant with this in the first place. Not to mention the fact that aren't mammoths like twice the size of elephants? This baby, if they do this Indian elephant, that's going to be an oucher. I don't know if the Indian elephant would even live through it. Mammoths are 2 or 3 times bigger than elephants were or are. So, yeah, there's that. Yes, that lab meat is definitely a hard pass. A hard pass. And it's like, and actually I mentioned this last time. It was something that I read about that. Essentially, this lab meat is like cancer cells that just reproduce and reproduce and reproduce. So they have to put something in it to make these cells stop reproducing. In the meantime, you eat that, you're putting that in your body as well. So you not only have gross cancer meat that you're eating, but whatever it is that they put in it to make the cells stop growing. Don't you think that's going to have some effect on your cells too? So yeah, no. Big, hard pass on lab-grown meat. How much methane do mammoths meme? That's what I'm talking about. That's why I say they're screaming and yelling about all the methane coming from the farm animals and the cows, but yet they're going to reproduce and reintroduce into the earth thousands of woolly mammoths. And they're claiming it's for the diversion of climate change. How is that the case? How is that the case? Just new corporal punishment eaten by mammoth. Aren't mammoths herbivores though? I don't remember them being carnivores. Now, sat on one maybe. Sat on by one. That might be one. Shove one up. Never mind. Yep, you're right about that, Mr. Tiso. Taxes are the price we pay to live in a welfare surveillance state ruled by satanic, totalitarian, pedophile warmongers. Yep, and it pays for their whatever it is they want to do. They screw us and we pay them for the pleasure of doing it. In fact, I saw a little video of a youngster, I think she was a Gen Z, talking about how in the world is it that that back when we started this country, we flipped out over a 3% tax on the tea and everything like that. We had the Tea Party and everything like that. Now we get taxed on everything. In fact, they're starting with this global warming and all of this climate change stuff. They basically want to tax us for breathing, for existing. Okay, just remember, the government doesn't have any money. They don't. I mean, they've got plenty of money, but it's not theirs. They take it from us. And then they give it to everybody else on the planet, so... immortalized cells, another way of saying cancer cells. Good point on the inhibitor possibly causing detrimental effects. Yeah! Well, it reminds me of... In fact, I don't see this around anymore either, but do you remember that thing... as seen on TV, it was one of those things. It was supposed to be a laser thing that took off the hair. You know what I'm saying? This little thing. It wasn't like a razor or anything like that, but it was like a laser or whatever like that. And it literally, essentially, would supposedly get rid of the hair. And everybody in my group, we got to buy one of those, got to get one of those, got to get one of those. And I was asked why I wouldn't get one. And it's like, well, first of all, as seen on TV, it works on TV. Probably the minute you touch it, it's going to break, blah, blah, blah. I never trusted anything from on TV sales like that, the infomercials or anything like that anyway. But if this thing demolishes your hair, what is it doing to your skin? What is it doing to your cells? What is it doing to your body? And you sit there and you rub it right on your body, and it demolishes the hair. It's not a razor, supposedly. So if it demolishes your hair that well, what the hell is it doing to the rest of your body? Your skin, everything else. You're sitting there rubbing it all over yourself. People were like, guess what? Nobody uses them all anymore. First of all, you're blonde, so the carpet requires less grooming. Thank you for the the donation, just to remind me. Let's see, where is it? Just to remind me that I'm blonde. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm silver. And blonde is actually not my regular color. I used to be a redhead. I used to have auburn hair. So the carpet doesn't match the curtains. Rub around and find out. But yeah, when I read about how they produced this meat and everything like that, and essentially said like Armageddon said, immortalized cells. Which again, what cells do you know of that grow uncontrollably like that? The only cells I know of that grow like that are cancer cells. So, yeah, so they literally, and like I say, they put it in the article, how they make it. They literally have to have an agent that calms that down, that stops that. So if you're eating that as well, that means it's going to slow down your cell growth as well. I'm telling you, these people want us dead. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about this stuff. They think they're gonna try and convince everybody that it's good for you. Case in point. And they're still trying to convince you that it's good for you. The vaccine. But yeah, they're going to... In fact, that was actually part of the article that I read, that they're going to probably try and stick that mRNA stuff in everything we eat. We are their experiment, and we are the carbon that they want to eliminate. Actually, the way that I see it, the powers that be right now have lost control over the population. There's so many of us now that they don't see how they can be in as much control as they want to be. Case in point, some of the riots, some of the upheavals, a lot of the people that are going towards the right now after realizing that they've been lied to by these people all this time, while we pay them for the privilege of doing this to us. Fellow Ginger Laura, we do have souls. Yes. Well, like I say, I'm more of an auburn. I have some red hair in me, but I'm very, very, very... My skin is the only thing that's very fair. I was gonna say, you see my eyebrows. So yeah. Of course, says the older I get, the grayer I get in both places. If you must know, but yes, red carpet or brownish red or auburn carpet so far. And I know that some of you guys will. Never mind. Bobby Digital, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. Share. But of course, like I say, this is another something that they're doing under our noses, behind our backs, while we're complaining about the people that are on this list or in this court case. He did it. They put him in jail for it. The people that were a part of it should be in jail. Can Killer, welcome to the show. Sergeant Tripod. But of course, a lot of people are saying also too, they're speculating that if we put all the people in jail that were involved in it, we would literally have to have at least 500 new elections. That's just a start. Let's see. And then, of course, this is something else. This is something I've been talking about too. This is something else that they're trying to hide in plain sight for us, or to us, or about us.
With COVID, right? We are all only as healthy as our neighbor is on our street, in our city, in our region, in our nation, and globally. And did we solve that? Like, did we actually manage to vaccinate everyone in the world? No. So highlighting water as a global commons and what it means to work together and see it both out of that kind of global commons perspective, but also the self-interest perspective, because it does have that parallel. It's not only important, but it's also important because we haven't managed to solve those problems which had similar attributes. And water is something that people understand. You know, climate change is a bit abstract. Some people understand it really well. Some understand it a bit. Some just don't understand it. Water, every kid knows how important it is to have water. When you're playing football and you're thirsty, you need water. So there's also something about really getting citizen engagement around this and really, in some ways, experimenting with this notion of the common good. Can we actually deliver this time in ways that we have failed miserably other times? And hopefully we won't keep failing on the other things, but anyway, that's...
Hopefully you will keep failing on the other things, and hopefully you'll fail on this too. But again, this is another something that they're trying to direct your attention away from because you won't notice it until it happens. But they couldn't get everybody vaccinated. They couldn't... This is what I mean by they're now trying to depopulate, because I believe that they feel with 8 billion of us, they've lost control of the population. There's not as much... You know, there's a bigger amount of people to try and convince to do all of this stuff, and it's not working. They're even admitting that themselves. Okay, so now they're going to start fucking with our water. Which, you know, and she even said little children even know. You have to have water. You can go months without food, but you can only go days without water. So again, this is another something that they're trying to hide in plain sight about us. But they say the things out loud if you're actually paying attention to what you should be paying attention to, and not this Epstein bullshit that they're trying to. And actually that was their goal of this Epstein thing. They all thought that Trump was going to be a big part of it, because there's been pictures. You know, he does know the guy. He was another one of the billionaires, millionaires, or whatever it was that they were trying to get into bed with them, so that in the event that he ever did... Actually, to be honest with you, since he wasn't in politics at the time, I think they might have been trying to do that so that they could actually blackmail him into paying for some of the shit that they want him to pay for. Because it's like I said before, a lot of them are against him, and a lot of them that are screaming and yelling the loudest are probably the ones that were in his office asking him for money for whatever their campaigns or whatever it was for, and he told them to fuck off. In so many words, he's not that crass, even though they want to portray him as that crass. In fact, somebody even still mentioned they're still going after him for the pussy comment. And again, he mentioned it. He said he owned it. He apologized for it, but also too, it was talk. He didn't do it. He said you could. In fact, when that first came out, it was like as a a stage persona myself, I know what he's talking about. I've discussed on several occasions the people that have tried to do things with me and the gifts that I've been left in my tip jar and things like that. These people really do think that they can. A lot of people, even, and I'm not even that big. I'm not, but people will let you, if they think that you're of any kind of celebrity star, even stage, sometimes even stagehands, they will let, thinking that they will get in the clique or whatever, they will let you do anything to them. They'll give you shit. They'll give you stuff. I mean, like I said, I've found some goodies in my tip jar. I've had people slip me things. I've had people offer me to go in the alley and snort, which I never would do. Ugh, can't stand coke. But yeah, but there's still people that are trying to push that narrative on us still with the grabby pussy or whatever it was. And he wasn't saying that he did it. He was saying that when you're famous and rich, people will let you do it. In fact, I had one woman that wanted to insist on it. What do you do? And he wasn't wrong. After 20 years living in Australia, I found out that they add fluoride to the water here when South Africa stopped doing that shit decades ago for good reason. Yeah, they still do that here too. In fact, that's one of the reasons I don't drink tap water. God only knows what else is in it too. In fact, my tap water supposedly comes from a well in the neighborhood, but when it comes out of the faucet, it smells so bleachy. I can't even wash the dishes sometimes. I'm afraid it's gonna burn my hands. And I can't stand this bleach smell. I cannot stand the smell of bleach. It makes me very, very nauseous. If you're prepping for the end of the world, get a Raynoth so you can find water sources. You mean like his bong? Just kidding. But not really. And I'm hometown. You guys still doing that? Would you look at that? Many people have wells here. There's plenty of well diggers around here. Yeah, I don't have one though. Like I say, it's supposed to be in our neighborhood, but. And from flour slowing, turning to sugar on the teeth and rotting them. Yeah. Let's see. Old Salty Fart says, a good Brita water filter will provide you plenty of drinking water. Cool. Yeah, well, that's a charcoal filter. That's a charcoal filter. Will it get rid of this? Will it get rid of the bleach smell, though? Because that's my biggest problem. The fluoride is probably why there is such a divide in our country. It makes you more gullible. Both sides lie. That's why I like Trump. He's an outsider. Yeah. Would you look at that? There it is, Rougarou. I love it. Oh. Let's see. How many people I got on here tonight? Yeah, 32. Great. Okay. Well, don't forget. Keep sharing. Share. Tweet me out. X me out. Ladies, if you haven't been grabbed by the pussy during a good session, you're missing out. My girl was like, did you just grab me by the pussy? I said, yes. And she said, I'm confused. I kind of liked it. Do it again. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, they were trying to make it seem like it was not consensual. This sounds like a consensual situation there, Yvonne. So, no problem. Actually, I like Trump. In fact, I guess you could say that comedian, that black comedian that's getting raked over the coals again for this latest thing about making fun of the trans people. But Dave Chappelle. What was I going to say? Dig your own well. Fuck the codes. Learn how to purify your own water. Basic survival. KSF. Office of Unofficial Information. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I was going to tell you. Share. Share me out. X me out. I already told that. I said that though. Whatever that was right out of my head. And I didn't have it on my notes. So I have no idea what I was going to say. Anyway, like I say, we know that the mammoths aren't extinct because of there wasn't any of us there, at least not ones who were able to discover and harness the powers that Earth provide in the first place. That was something I thought about today, too, while I was in the shower. No one really discovered anything on this Earth. It was already here. It was all already here. What we did discover, or what we did invent, was apparatuses to gather or harness and use these powers to our benefit, or at least they used to be anyway. Think about it. Everything we use now was actually already here for us to discover, invent, and utilize. And the reason we don't see all of them now is because the richest of the rich have claimed most of it. Anything that might have been free, or it might have been something that average man could do, has been eliminated, hidden. So that was actually another question I had too. You know, I don't think that these big companies, big tech, and all this other stuff are going to end up turning everything off. Because they're making it to where this is the only way for us to acquire goods, services, and other things. This is on the internet. With power. With telephones and everything like that. Where would all their revenue come from if they shut all this stuff down? They went, because they're all trying to make us go automatic and paperless, right? In fact, that's something I refuse to do too. But they're all trying to make us go paperless, even with cash, even with payments and everything else. But what happens? What happens if they turn all of that shit off? All these big companies aren't going to make that money anymore. They're not going to be able to function at all anymore. So I get the feeling that that's something that's not going to happen unless we get attacked. That would be one way to cut everything out from an enemy. But the people that are using us for this and that we're paying for the pleasure of them to use us for, they're not going to do that. I don't think so. I implore you to continue. If she loves you, grab it daily. Yes. If that's what she's into, do it. Aren't there a lot of guys that actually end up breaking up, or women that end up breaking up with their men because they just won't communicate? If you guys are freaks, go for it. That's the way to stay together. Mutual freakiness. They don't care about money. They care about control, and it's way easier to control 500 million than 8 billion. Oh, you're correct. But they do care about the money. Believe me. They're greedy. This is one of the reasons why they have big pharma. This is one of the reasons why. Why do you think that consumerism is so fucking huge? And it just continues to grow and grow and grow. How many commercials do you get? Just going on X. Just one platform that you don't pay for. And even the ones that you do, some of them. This was what happened with cable. This is the reason why cable is dying. The original platform on that was, get rid of the commercials. Watch movies, get rid of no commercials and all that other stuff. And not even a couple years into it, we're already paying to watch commercials. They double their money, they triple their money, and we get fucked. Right? So the money represents your efforts, your energy, your soul. That depends on if you're getting properly paid for whatever it is you're doing, too. But wood chipper's running on woolly mammoth farts. That's a good one. Inquiring minds want to know. Freak dog. He doesn't know how to use the seashells. No internet. I do not pay my bill, credit card. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that's what I say. They're trying to make you go paperless on everything, including cash. Now, they're going to shut you off if they don't like you or whatever like that, but you do that to too many people, or if you do that to everybody, there goes your commerce. What are you even in business for at that point? And another thing about they don't care about the money, they're starting to, except for Disney. Except for Disney, and I'll talk about that here in a second. Let me see what else I got here. Yeah, Star Wars died today. Actually, bringing us to Disney. Star Wars died today. Now, this is from Liberal Hive Mind. I've actually seen this interview a couple of times, but this one was just the most convenient for me. I feel sorry for Star Wars fans. I was one up until the early 2000s when they came out with the Clone Wars, I think it was. Something like that. Whichever one it was the one before the little orange robot. It was horrible. I stopped watching Star Wars after that. That was the last one I saw in the movies. My mother took me to the original showing of Star Wars in 1974. in fact, she took me out of school because she wanted to go see a matinee. And of course, for the time, the motion picture, all of the advancements and everything like that were fucking incredible. The biggest question back then is, why did we start with number 3 or number 4 in the book series? And supposedly number 1, 2, and 3 was when they went back in the 2000s. That's when it got boring, and it was just it wasn't. That's what I say. And then of course in the 2000s they started in with the women power and the girl bosses and these people just having powers with no self-awareness or no struggle or any of this other stuff. Women just could do anything anybody could do. It was crazy and everything like that. And now we get this.
What is the balance of...
Well, actually, before I do this, I want to ask you. This is another question that I have. How many of you out there have ever said to yourself, I feel like becoming uncomfortable in my own skin because of other folks' shortcomings and atrocities? I know! Let's go see an action-adventure flick. And that'll show me. So we get this.
Activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure. And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
Really? Is that why you gave them all crabs? All right. Limited access. Thank you so much for the donation. You get one of these over there on Rumble. They still haven't contacted me about acquiring my funds yet, but keep it up. The more I collect, the better it'll be. She says, YouTube has hundreds of Star Wars fans' films, and honestly, I've seen about 100 of, and they're all actually pretty good. Like watching the 30 series program on TV. Okay, you'll have to give us a link to that. Bobby Digital, listen to the seals clap. RRR. Yeah, exactly. Making men uncomfortable. That's what I say. Is that why you gave them all crabs or something? I don't know. Now, supposedly this person has endured a lot of toxic masculinity. She is from Pakistan, and of course, you know the Muslim faith out there. Women are second-class citizens. Yada yada yada. But now she's in America, taking that out on Western men, basically, and it's like. Really? And Star Wars, of all things? But Disney has been... I don't... Personally, you know how I say that... you know how I said last week that I think that the reason why Elon Musk doesn't really care if anybody advertises with him or if he loses money with X is because all big business people like that have a company for write-offs. In fact... they can even write off if another company supports that company that he has or something like that. So everybody that I know of that's pretty big business and everything like that has a business that they don't really care whether it makes money or not because that's their write-off. I'm beginning to believe that whoever has taken charge of or whatever company conglomerate that has Disney is essentially using Disney as their write-off. It might be BlackRock or whatever it is, the ginormous companies, but I'm thinking that they're possibly pushing Disney as their write-off because of shit like this. And they just keep doing it. I mean, look at all the flops they've had so far. In fact, if I remember correctly, when I was watching Nerdrotic, like 6 out of the top 10 flops of the 2023 year were Disney films. Some of them flopped before they were even released. So yeah, this person likes to make men feel uncomfortable. This is her mission in life, right?
Not you, just not you. Not you.
Point taken.
But you know, it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that.
Who is that important to? And why? She doesn't tell you why. She just tells you that it's important for me to be able to do that.
I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude.
Who died and left her in charge of that? So now she is the main person on the earth now that's going around and is in charge of how men do things, how men see things, how all men, she's in charge of how all men do these things. Who died and left her in charge of this? Disney? And I was going to say, good luck with that. You are going to fail. You're going to fail because they're literally trying to force, in my opinion, they're trying to force a male-oriented program or movie or show or fantasy or sci-fi or whatever like that and try to force it on women. Now, I like Star Wars already because it seemed organic. It was, like I say, the technology was amazing for the time. When you got into the 90s and the lower 2000s, though, they started with this woke shit, and all the girls had to be in charge. The men were idiots, and no, it doesn't work that way. In fact, what was it? The one with Laura Dern with the purple hair. They were complaining. I didn't watch this one either, but from what I had heard from Critical Drinker and from Nerdrotic, basically, Laura Dern's character had a plan, made the guys all succumb to this plan. It ended up working out, but it was because she ended up not having a plan after all. And it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But it was this girl boss thing, and the idea was that all these men had to respect her. She was in charge no matter what was, no matter what was wrong, and you were treasonous or you were insubordinate or whatever like that if you even questioned her demands of whatever this battle was and everything like that. And she basically supposedly just won out of luck. What kind of a movie is that? That's nothing. That's not even entertaining. In fact, even the reviews of it were like, what? So no. Going off to Rocky's place. I see the time here. That's funny. Wow. All right. Lots of shots. So yeah, we're going to have another failed Star Wars. But there's hope. Zero Hedge is predicting that 2024 is the year to cancel wokeness in America. And it's working. Like I say, they finally got rid of the president of Harvard, who not only is anti-Semitic, but lies about DEI and freedom of speech on their campus. A lot of companies, they're quietly doing this, but it's coming out. A lot of companies are getting rid of their DEI departments because, frankly, they're not cost effective. They don't actually make the company any money. In fact, because of the policies and the processes and the things that they're doing, they're losing these companies money. And yeah, even though they don't care about making money, the companies, the CEOs, don't let them fool you. That's what they're in business for. Even if it's a write-off from the government because they're losing money. Because they're not. These rich companies know how to finagle this stuff. These rich people know how to finagle this stuff to be able to take advantage of it. And again, us little guys, between the taxes, because, when these companies, these big companies, everything like that, these corporations and these box places, they get more taxes, they don't pay those taxes. They pass that on to us. Okay, another one of their loopholes. They're not actually paying the taxes. We are. So again, they're using us, abusing us, and we're paying them for the privilege to do so. They are being taxed on everything. And of course, again, my view of this global warming and all this other bullshit with the atmosphere and everything like that, they want to tax us to breathe. They want to tax us to exist. And then they want to block out the sun. Again, like I say, 8 billion of us. I believe that they have lost control of us. They know they've lost control of us, so this is what they're trying to do to us. So just keep paying attention to what they're doing to us and not all of this extraneous crapola. Oh, he said this, and she said that, and he did this, and he's a racist, and he's with no proof, no nothing. They're just blabbing. Meanwhile, in the background, they're taking away our rights. They're taking away our water. They're fucking with our food. They're screwing with our medicine. They're experimenting on us as much as they can. And again, don't forget their mantra to keep power by any means necessary. If you're not awake after the pandemic, you're not awake for this. You're never going to get awake for this until something actually happens to you personally. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Because they sacrificed, in order to get Trump out of office, I truly believe, and it's my opinion, that they sacrificed millions of people around the world and are still trying to keep this man out of office. So if they would do that, again, like I said before, I'm surprised that they haven't tried some way of either poisoning him or putting a bullet in him. Because they do not want this man in office. They know he will expose them. He's exposed a lot of it. A lot of this stuff has been exposed because of Trump sticking his nose in there. So I'm actually glad that he did. Armageddon. All right, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here, you all guys. I'm going to send you off. Of course, I didn't get a chance to show you any of my WoW videos. We were talking about all this stuff, and then we had a small fight in between people in here. Look, guys, we're supposed to be coming together in Christ. It's one thing to judge somebody on something, be mad at them for a little while and everything like that, but you still need to forgive them. You still need to be Christ-like. And if it's that bad, stay the fuck away from that person. You know, you have to love them, but you don't have to be around them, and you don't have to like them. You know, we're only commanded to love each other. So, okay. All right. This is another excerpt from his interview with Patrick Bet-David, but I thought it was apropos, and of course I never end a show without some Marmari.
Don't be fanatic about your faith. And I say this even to the Christians. The moment we become fanatics about our Christian faith, we've lost Christ. We've lost the true reflection of Christ. And you may say, well, I'm a bishop. I'm different maybe to some Christians that live in this blessed country of America, who are from a Protestant branch. I come dressed up like a Ninja Turtle. I call myself a walking tent. But hey, how come a Protestant? How come other Christians? How come a Muslim? How come a Buddhist? How come an atheist is listening to this good-looking bishop? Why? Because the day you and I, dear Patrick, and all of us, the day we give our life to Christ, surrender to Him, and say, Lord, it is no longer I but you. I know I'm weak, I'll fall short, I'll drift away, but please, Lord, even when I miss out, even when I walk away from you, I'm asking you now before it happens. When it happens, Lord, remember this moment when I called and I cried out to you, Lord, have mercy on me, I the sinner, son of David, have mercy on me. When I pray, when I beg Him, when I cry out to Him, even if I fall short, He never fails, because He is the living God who was revealed in the flesh. He is the Logos, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and there is no one else. When Jesus Christ engulfs you and you surrender to Him and He takes over, you have no fear, because Jesus fears no one.
And this right here is why I actually don't worry about a whole lot of the stuff that's going on. They're all trying to manipulate us, and none of it has anything to do with reality or what God wants us to do. So, again, wow isn't what happened tonight, Laura. A bit fanatical with judgmentalism. It's up to the person to ask for forgiveness. It's up to us to pray for that person. Yes, I'm praying for both of you. Like I say, God's in control. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I have zero idea why. Sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. Sometimes people just don't like each other. It happens. Okay? It happens. But it's not anything to get upset about, because, again, the only person you should worry about what they think of you is God and Jesus. You have to live your life in accordance with how He leads you. not with what any other man, woman, child, WEF personality says or does. Because they don't have your best interest at heart. But Jesus does. All right, you guys. That's about it for me tonight. Like I said, I hope you guys had a fantastic New Year's. I'm hoping that there's some better news. Actually, we're getting a balance now of good news and bad news in here. And actually, I see more good news than bad news, especially with this DEI that is DIE-ing. Mainly because of the fact that it just doesn't work. It's more discriminatory than Jim Crow, in my opinion. Or then it's more discriminatory against people, and more people, actually, for that matter, than what happened after the Civil War. So, thankfully, Nikki Haley is bye-bye. Hello, Diesel Tech Zero. You're coming in at the very end of the show, but welcome to the show. I hope to see you again next week. And don't forget to support all the folks on Rougaroo's interactive schedule. Be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky Show on Odysee and Rumble next. I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments, the calls. Don't forget to send me your clips and commercials for mine or your shows. Me and Vincenzo have got some scripts down. We've been working on some commercials that we're going to do for this year, hopefully. And of course, God bless you and God bless America. I hope you have peace, love, health, and music. And of course, Jesus' favor all the time. Happy New Year, guys. And until next time, AMF.